There are plenty of outlets for a competitive spirit in motorsports, a flavor for every taste. For those who succeed in racing, there's more than a desire to compete. There's the emphasis to win. Of course, in motorsports, as in life, there are a few guys who love to show off.
Walking away from that wreckage.
It's called exhibition racing, the showman side of motorsports. In this world populated by wheel standers, jet cars, and monster trucks, the emphasis is on entertainment. Don't misunderstand, there's a competitiveness here equal to any in racing. In drag racing, one of the most visually exciting but potentially dangerous things that can happen to a driver is a wheel stand. A wheel stand, or wheelie, is when the front wheels leave the ground and head skyward. For the driver, it is a moment of complete helplessness. Sometimes there is more than just potential danger. Given the danger, it's hard to imagine why people would intentionally try to wheel stand until you see them in action. Wheel stander drivers are a unique group of racers, and their machines reflect this. No two are alike. From pickup trucks to Chevy Novas, to things more exotic. There are some similarities. For instance, the engine is always in the back. They all have wheelie bars to keep from falling over backwards. And they are a marvel to watch. Wheel standing is not something a person can just go out and do. It takes lots of practice and perseverance. And even if the crowd gets impatient, you just have to keep plugging away. And before you know it, you're wheel standing. Wheel standers may come and wheel standers may go, but there will probably always be a little red wagon, the first and best known of all wheel standers. The little red wagon began life as a promotional vehicle for Dodge, but when teamed with Bill Maverick Golden, it became the first wheelie machine. It was Bill who first coined the phrase wheelie, who began the wheel stander craze when he started touring with the red wagon, and who's been responsible for many of the sport's major safety innovations. After over 20 years together, the little red wagon has become more than just a race car to Bill Golden.
I view the little red wagon as an individual. Yes, I do. It's a male person, and it likes girls, naturally, because it's unmarried.
Partly because he was the first, partly because of his nature, Bill found himself a major pioneer.
When we first started doing wheelies, we had no way of guiding the truck or controlling what the truck done after we pulled the wheel stand was heading down the track. So I got the idea in the latter part of 1965, especially when there was quite a few wheel standers that were starting to follow my act, my drag racing act, that I'd better start doing something to make them safer. So by the end of 1966, I was well into working onto a guiding system.
Bill's guidance system used special brakes on the rear wheels to steer when the front wheels were dancing off the track. The new system had an instant impact on the sport.
What do I like about it the most? I feel the fans. Money's great. I like it. You need it. The kids want to go to school every chance they get, you know, and eat out once in a while and have their bikes. That's important. But the main thing is, if the people or the fans turned against me, I think I'd quit immediately. Now, I retired in 1982, and we had so many letters and kids writing to me, and so we decided by 1987, with all the calls and everything, to bring it back, and that was the fans that brought me back.
With Bill behind the wheel, the little red wagon will probably dance down drag strips for another 20 years. Another famous wheel stander is the ever-popular Jolly Rancher Candyland Express. Driven by Ed Outlaw Jones, the Jolly Rancher wheel stander is a favorite with young and old fans wherever it goes. A longtime drag racer, Jones for many years drove one of the most outrageous-looking wheel standers in the country, a converted stagecoach.
I started racing back in '67. I started out with a super stock car, and we had a lot of fun with that, and I wanted to kind of move up a little bit. So we ended up getting this car 11 years ago when my son was 30 days old, as a matter of fact, and we've been campaigning it since then.
When Jones retired the stagecoach recently, he brought out a new wheel stander, a fire truck. He tours with the new truck most of the year.
Last year we ran like 39 dates, and we did a lot of displays, parades, and car shows, and etc. We keep very, very busy throughout the year.
The grace and skill with which drivers handle their wheelie machines is like watching a prima ballerina at work. There are some 2,001 reasons why monster trucks have become everybody's favorite way to dispose of old cars. More than just awe-inspiring to look at, they are awesome in action. Monster trucks may appear to be the Tyrannosaurus Rexes of motorsports, but there's more to them than just brute. They are also part sparrow and love to fly. When monster trucks first gained prominence, they were nothing more than garden variety pickup trucks mounted on farm implement tires. Today, they are sophisticated machines with advanced chassis and suspensions, four-wheel drive, and the newest rage, four-wheel steering. And of course, all of this high-tech hardware comes in handy if the way home is paved with junk cars. Monster trucks are built out of more than just pickups. Today, there are monster blazers and panel trucks and semis, making for some truly monstrous-looking machines. Monster trucks are turning up in all sorts of places these days, from car dealerships to the Los Angeles Coliseum. Annually, famed racer Mickey Thompson converts the site of the 1984 Olympics into a multi-purpose race facility for his off-road Stadium Grand Prix Thunder Drag show. And along the way, the monster trucks show up to strut their stuff in the famed sports arena. But the Coliseum is not the only famed sports arena converted into a rumpus room for monster trucks. During the TNT Super Nationals, the Houston Astrodome becomes a three-ring racetrack featuring tractor pulls and mud bog racing. But for the fans, the center attraction is the dancing bears of racing. The suspensions of monster trucks take a serious pounding as the trucks rampage over the cars. So it's not surprising that every so often a truck ends up looking worse than the cars it crushed. And given the complexity of these machines, if they sometimes seem to end up looking like the Keystone Cops, who's to complain? One of the neat aspects of monster truck racing is the diversity of the approaches people take. From body style to engine choice, no two trucks are quite alike. There's an old adage that says if you fall off a horse, you have to get right back on. In monster truck racing, that translates to, if the car's got the best of you, get out there and take another crack at them. Monster truck purists will tell you there are two things every machine needs: oversized tires and a cute nickname. Naturally, there are those who disagree.
I mean, and the people out there, just like monster trucks, they're neat. I always thought they were the neatest thing since I was a little kid. And, but they've been around for a long time. You know, and the public, they're just striving for something new. You know, they want something new and that can get wilder and crazier.
For William Towns, inspiration for a wild and crazy new monster truck came from an off-road magazine cartoon.
They had a little truck sit on top of a tank, but the tank, it still had the gun and everything on it. But I just saw the idea, putting a body, you know, on a tank bottom. The bottom half of the M4 tank retrievers is what the bottom half is. They were made back in about 1942. They used them in World War II. I guess when they designed the tanks, you know, they designed them to save people's lives while they were going out through enemy territory, so, and running over landmines and stuff, so they've been doing good on cars. It ain't that top heavy. It has no weight up top. So you can get pretty squirrely with it and feel relaxed the whole time you're looking dangerous. It ain't really dangerous. We do as much excitement as we can, you know, crushing and mutilating. Anything that looks exciting and dangerous. Start wailing, whacking away. Let it rip, let it rip, let it rip. Crushing, mutilating, mutilating. Crushing, but your heart does flutter. Getting down, getting down, getting down. But your heart does flutter. Crushing. Start wailing, mutilating. But your heart does flutter. Crushing, 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 whacking away. Getting down, mutilating, crushing. But your heart does flutter. Getting down, let it rip. This is like living a dream. I mean, they're paying me to come play. You know, we're going there and putting on a show, making all these kids happy, and it's fun. I mean, you can't beat it.
In all of racing, nothing surpasses the thunder and lightning of jet cars in action. Jet cars come in three basic shapes. Dragsters, funny cars, and specialty vehicles. Regardless of shape, beneath the skin, all jet cars have basically the same elements, starting with the most obvious, the engine. They come from a variety of sources. Some are Air Force surplus, some come right out of a Learjet, all are modified for racing, and the smoke and light shows that are jet car trademarks. The engines do not directly drive the wheels, rather it is the thrust from the engines that move these cars. Shocks at all four corners help smooth the ride. All jet cars have braking systems, but they are not for stopping. The brakes are used mostly on the starting line to hold the cars in place during the fire show. The most important piece of equipment on a jet car is at the rear. Parachutes are the only way to stop these cars after a 260-mile-an-hour run. Jet car drivers are as varied as their machines. One of the most respected drivers is longtime veteran Doug Rose.
I've been doing this now for 25 years. My car reminds me every now and then that I'm not the boss. You know, it gives me a little thrill. But that's part of the sport. You have to take these things as they come.
When it comes to flash, very few teams can compete with Jet Set Racing's two-car team. Owned by Diamond Lynn Redeman, the team is among the most colorful in the sport.
Jet car racing is an exhibition show team. We're not out there, as I said, as competition racing. We're there to put a show on for the audience. So, as you can see by my operation, we're very flashy. One of my slogans is that we're not the fastest, but we're the flashiest.
One of the few women jet car drivers in the country is Aggie Hendricks. She came to racing by chance.
I was self-employed. I had a tropical plant store. I discovered that it was not the most lucrative business in the world at the time, so I gave it up, and I happened across some people that were already involved in jet racing. And over a period of time, they allowed me the opportunity to become involved in it and eventually drive this particular car.
As touring professionals, these drivers can spend up to 40 weeks a year traveling the country racing. Once a year, 14 or so of the best gather at Great Lakes Dragaway in Union Grove, Wisconsin for a spectacular weekend of competition. In addition to the jets, Great Lakes offers a little of everything, including a stunt show. In the pit area of Great Lakes, the jets are always the center of attention. From watching them test their engines to just checking them out, fans are fascinated by these unique machines. But it's when the jets pull to the starting line that the excitement really builds.
Okay, here we go. Here comes Doug Rose, the big green mama jet car. Yeah.
For a symphony of sight and sound unequaled, One of the most popular jet car drivers in the country today is Roger Gustin. Owner-driver of the Lava Machine funny cars, Roger is as well known for his public service announcements and television commercials as for his driving.
You know, I've been driving race cars for 27 years, and every one I've ever drove has been exciting. But to drive a jet with the thrust power, it doesn't drive the rear wheels, is just unbelievable. The sensation is fantastic.
Part of Roger's popularity lies in the fact that he so obviously enjoys what he does for a living.
I've been doing this a long time, and you really enjoy spending time with your friends at the races and all, but the real bottom line of coming to the races is the time you get strapped in there and you give the starter the signal to go, and you light the afterburner. That's got to be the most exciting thing in drag racing, is when you really drive the car.
The second driver on Roger's Lava team is longtime jetster Mike Evagent. A jet driver since the early 70s, Mike is one of the sport's top competitors.
When I pull up on the starting line and I'm in the stage beams, all I want to do is drill the guy next to me. And I'm sure that's just the way he feels too. And when you can go across that finish line at 260 miles an hour, and you are ahead of that fellow beside you, that's the feeling of the excitement.
For the fans, their excitement comes when the two Lava machines pull up to the starting line. There's no one reason jet cars in general and the Lava machines in particular are so popular, but certainly part of the reason lies in the passion of drivers like Roger Gustin.
I'm 46 years old, and I love it more now than I did when I was 18, so I'll probably be doing it quite a while.
Doug Rose started driving jet cars in the mid-60s. In the years since, he's learned that sometimes he has to tailor his show to accommodate different tracks.
A lot of places where I go, they're oval tracks, they're small facilities where you can't let the car out and do what it has to do.
Ever resourceful, Doug's found other ways to show off his jet car.
Well, we have an act that we call car burning or meltdown. Something like that. It's where we take an old junk car, like this weekend we took buses and combines, of all things.
There are plenty of reasons why veteran drivers like Airplane Freddie Sibley and Doug Rose burn buses and combines. At least one is the educational rewards.
A lot of people don't understand what a jet engine is, or what it does, what it's capable of, or how dangerous it is. So when you tell them, well, there's 3,000 degrees and 6,000 pounds of thrust coming out the back, it's hard to relate. if you tell them it's like a giant cutting torch, they can only imagine some guy holding a big cutting torch cutting a car in half. And it's sort of like a 1 minute 4th of July. Anyway, if you got a neighbor you don't like, let me know. If he parks in your parking spot at work. Buses and combines. You like that, huh?